What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Thank y'all for 200 subscribers. We started 2 months ago, and it really means a lot to me. I want to make this a full-time career, but now we're just gonna strive for 300 subscribers, road to 300, and we're just gonna take this day by day. In this video, we're gonna be comparing actually two all-time great point guards, and Tony Parker and Rajon Rondo. They both had two different careers. One was on a career for most of his career, or one team for most of his career, and then one was on a lot of teams but still had an impact on a lot of teams. But let's just get straight into it. Starting off with Tony Parker, his first real season or productive season in the 2002-2003 season, he averaged 15.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and basically 5 assists. In the 2003-2004 season, Tony averaged 14.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, which was one of his best seasons. The 2004-2005 season, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. In the 2005-2006 season, he averaged his highest points per game so far, which showed his career development. He averaged 19 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. In the next couple seasons, actually, he's gonna average 18.5. But in the next season, 2006-2007 season, he averaged 18.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, 5.5 assists. And this is when he won Finals MVP going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he was by far the best player on the court besides LeBron, obviously. And he was the best player on the team with Tim Duncan, which is crazy. I made a video about Tim Duncan being a top 5 player of all time, and to me, if you're playing better than an all-time great, and you're just starting to establish yourself in the league and doing that and showing why you're one of the best point guards in basketball, that just shows how good really Tony Parker really was. And he averaged, I believe, 27, 5, and 8 that series, which later established Tony really as an all-time great. And he has a documentary, Kobe, talking about how difficult it was to play against Tony Parker. And it's not just Tim Duncan you had to worry about, it was Tony too. In the 2007-2008 season, he followed that up with 19 points per game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. In the 2008-2009 season, he had his best season by the stats, actually. He averaged 22 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. In the 2009-2010 season, he averaged 16 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. In the 2010-2011 season, he averaged 17.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. Tony, throughout this, was a consistent player. People underrate Tony Parker's longevity, but we're not going to even get into all that. In the 2010-2011 season, he averaged 17.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. I don't know if I did that already. In the 2011-2012 season, he averaged 18 points per game, 3 rebounds, and basically 7.5 assists. In the 2012-2013 season, when the Spurs made it back to the finals, he averaged 20 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. In the 2013-14 season, when the San Antonio Spurs abruptly won their fifth championship and Tony Parker's 4th championship, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. And Tony Parker's accolades speak for themselves. He's a 4-time NBA champion in 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2014. He was the Finals MVP, like I said. He was the 2007 Finals MVP. He was a 6-time All-Star in 2006, 2007, 2009, 2012, and 2014, or through 2014. He was a 3-time All-NBA selection in 2012 through 2014, which was one of his best careers. And he made All-NBA 3rd team in 2009. And his number is obviously retired by the Spurs. But Tony had a long career. I feel like it's underrated because how many good guards were in the 2000s and the 2010s, but Tony is really up there, and a lot of people should start putting respect on his name, because Tony really could be a top 10 point guard of all time, and that's all, you couldn't argue that. But next we're going to go into the career of Rajon Rondo. And starting off with the Boston Celtics finals appearance, he averaged 10.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. But Rondo's points per game is not going to be the same as Tony Parker. Like I said, they're two different players. Rondo was more of an assist guy and a defensive guy, which is why the Boston Celtics loved him. And for this run, he was really detrimental to their success. Kevin Garnett even said that if he was going to go there, keep that kid. And Rondo was obviously a kid at this time. That was following his first season. But obviously Rondo started to get better after the finals appearance, and having those veterans around him turned out to improve his career even more. In the 2008-2009 season, Rondo had 12 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. In the 2009-2010 season, Rondo had 13.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, and basically 10 assists, which was his highest scoring season. But it's not all about scoring, it's about defense, assists, all that. And I don't know if you want to say that Rondo was a better defender than Tony, but I sure will. In the 2010-2011 season, he averaged 10 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 11 assists. And Rondo went on to average 11 assists for the next 3 seasons, which in the 2011-2012 season, he averaged 12 points per game, 4.5, basically 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 11.5 assists. In the 2012-2013 season, he averaged basically 14 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 11 assists. In the 2013-14 season, he averaged 11.5, basically 12 points, 5.5 rebounds, and basically 10 assists. And this was when it was officially Rondo's team. That was after they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and obviously Rondo was their future until the next season, when he averaged 8 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 10 assists. And I'm really starting to realize Rondo, I see why the Celtics traded him, because 3 straight seasons he did not play over 30 games. 2013-14 played 30 games. But obviously he was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and we all know how that worked out. That didn't really work. That was a terrible situation. He averaged 9 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists. In Sacramento, he averaged 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, and basically 12 assists, and he was getting back to himself. And during the Bulls days, he started to get his career back together. Well, not really back together, but it was a fun team to watch during the Jimmy Butler era, when it was him, Rondo, D-Wade, and it was exciting. But in that season, he averaged 8 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Well, the stats weren't as dominant as they were, but next couple seasons, he went to LA. He averaged 9 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. 2019-20, when they won their ring, and Rondo was detriment to their success. He was the highest IQ on the team with LeBron James on the team. They played their best basketball with Rondo on the team, or Rondo on the court, which he averaged 7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. That was really the downfall of Rondo, but he was still an impactful player, even though the stats don't align. The stats don't align with what I'm saying, but if you really took your time to watch Rondo during these seasons, he was really productive. And Rondo's accolades speak for themselves, like Tony's. He's a 2-time champion in 2008 and 2020, like I just said. He was a 4-time All-Star. He was a 4-time All-Star from 2010 to 2013. He's a 2-time All-NBA Defensive First Team member, 2-time All-NBA Defensive Second Team member, First Team in 2010 and 2011, Second Team in 2009 and 2012. He led the league in assists 3 times in 2012, 2013, and 2016. He led the league in steals in 2010. And he was a member of the All-NBA Third Team in 2012. Needless to say, both of these point guards are underrated, or were underrated in their career. They could have been labeled the best point guard at the moment, but obviously there were better players in the league. But I want to know, how do y'all feel about this matchup, Tony Parker versus Rajon Rondo, and where would y'all rank them on the point guard list? Let me know down below. Subscribe. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.